Is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you enjoyed your midweek day off. Yeah, we got obviously no action in the markets from yesterday. Crypto was moving a little bit, so crypto is coming back. Obviously, this is 24-hour market. Futures looked slow to start, but they started picking up a little bit. And then we got a gap up. We're looking to set an open at all-time highs, like deja vu all over again, just back to where we left off. But we got Albert in the house. Good morning to you. We got Anna. Good morning. Bill, Brad, Brian, Carlos. Good morning to Cheryl, Cindy, Joe, Kevin, Tim. We got Tina in the house. Good morning to all my peeps in YouTube land. Clarice. We got Franco. All my lurkers in the background. That's okay. I still love you. Just hit that like and subscribe button. And yeah, if you guys got any tickers you guys want to look at, let me know. Throw those into the chat. Be happy to pull those up for you guys. But yeah, we'll see. We got a Monday strong little breakout candle. Tuesday, a little bit of a decently bullish candle, to say the least. Ended pretty much at the high of Monday, and then we are getting that little gap up. So this is a retrace gap. Eventually, the music stops. I mean, I don't know. I don't know when or where the momentum is. Everything is still riding to the bullish side of things. There will be a pullback at some point. I don't know if today is the day, but today should be a little bit more of a retest gap, which a little bit frustrating considering that we're trading from or at least on the mic from 9 to 12, because that's a good time for that pullback to happen, and then we got to be shorting the momentum, which is kind of rough, but we'll see how it plays out. Otherwise, we got 550 as a psychological hold number. I think we were able to get through that. Yeah, we had a few ticks early morning. 550, 115. We had jobless numbers come out. We hardly moved off that. So jobless numbers didn't really do much. We also had housing numbers. We had a slew of numbers coming in at 8:30 today, and pretty much muted reaction. So nothing too crazy from those. And then we do have quad witching tomorrow. So maybe some volatility, or maybe if the market wants to turn. A lot of times the quad witching is a good spot to do it, just as all the contracts are kind of now off the table and look to restart. But for right now, everything still looks pretty bullish. Qs also look like they're going to try. We're a little closer to maybe not hitting all-time highs at open. Depends on where that print is. But as of now, we are sitting all-time highs on that one as well. And also retest gap, also strong Monday, pretty strong Friday as well. So there's definitely bulls profitable. And again, there's a couple suspicious stocks out there kind of carrying the rest of the market up with it. TLT pulling back a little bit at open, still at a little support, and we are now pretty firmly in this 93.60 to 94.60 range. So that $1 spread kind of at the lower end of it. We'll see where this one opens. If it drops a little bit further, you still got pretty good support. It's more around 93.30. So we do have a lot of bond auctions today. I know we got like the 3-month. I think we got a 4-month. I think we got a. I think we have a 4-year auction or 3-year auction, something like that. So a few decent bond auctions. Maybe that could have a little effect on the market today, but otherwise, I don't think we have any Jerome Powell speaking today. I don't think we got any Fed talk we got to really worry about. So I think the trend should play decently, providing that we don't trend just into chop zone. We do have, let's take a look real quick at Bitcoin, BTCUSD. The biddy. So far not a bad little recovery. We had little resting inside yesterday. We are getting a balance. I believe this is the 100. Let's see. We got the we're bouncing off the 100 on the daily, 100 EMA off the daily. Also came down. We did retest into a good little support. Got the bounce where we should on that one. We'll see where this one closes. This is going to be an important one. We'll see where this candle closes. That could be a 3-bar reversal off of some key spots. So if Bitcoin does want to start going again, Wave count wise, that could be the wave. At a smaller bases, that could be a 5 wave count on this move. We're counting this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little ABC chopzilla, and then we want to take out from here. We could be talking relatively soon about all-time highs on Bitcoin again if we could get that little footing on the ground. And then we were asked about Bitcoin, so let's go. I mean, not Bitcoin, Coinbase. Let's go to Coinbase, see if we're at any key spots there. But right now, at least for today, Bitcoin looks pretty good, providing it can hold, which is a big if, but if it can. This is a gap and go, still inside day. We managed to make it above the 20 EMA on this gap up, which is decent. So we should have a mini level of support there. We are sitting right at this resistance 240.36. And then we are going to have a little slew of resistance to the higher side too. 242.32. And then we have 246.96, kind of the next range up. If we could break this and then the last one is about 247, we'll call it 40, we'll call 247.20, somewhere around there. If we could break that, we should be looking for about 258. I don't know if that happens today. We would have to have a pretty wild move on Coinbase to get, I think, all the way back up there. But I think even if we could get to this 246.96, we should have decent risk to reward, so it's not bad. We'll keep this one higher on the list. We'd like to see, I do think this would be a good high wave candle. So we could get a good high wave candle. Maybe pre-market break. I just don't think I'd be as excited for pre-market break, knowing that the rest of the market is kind of a retest. But if we could get a little high wave candle, especially if that wick wants to come down to like 238.65, so about a dollar down, that gives us our support. And then we look to take a break. That might not be a bad little setup on it. Got Netflix and then NVDA. Netflix has just been rampaging, getting very close. I think this was all-time highs. Let me just make sure before you guys start fact checking me. But yeah, so somewhere around this high of this candle. So this was no, it's got to be here somewhere. 799. We get 799 is the all-time highs. We're about $15 away from that. This monthly looks absolutely redonkulous for continuation. Most likely, I think we could probably break through that little peak and start hitting all-time highs. That monthly looks crazy. That's a good bullish engulfing candle. If this thing wants to come back and retest, so let's say we do fail, you got on a monthly basis 608, decent little move. For the retest, again, that would be a monthly chart. So we still got time left on this one. We'll see what happens if it wants to try to throw a double top in there. Otherwise, for today, we have a little bit of a gap down on it. Nothing too crazy. Still at relatively the higher end of that. I'm probably going to keep saying Friday candle today. Today feels like a Monday. I don't know. It's that one day off, I guess. But look for support on this one. It's got a little bit of a more bearish open for today. Look for some kind of support somewhere around 278.53 if it wants to come down. Otherwise, you do have your resistance if you want to remain bullish. The big level you got to break through is 685.29. So we don't really get great risk reward, I think, at this moment. I'd probably let this thing play out into one of those moving averages, and then maybe we could look for a short somewhere around 685.29 going against the grain on that one. So it's going to be a tougher short. Otherwise, the closer you get to the 678 and change, the better for me. We got NVIDIA. Yeah. So I think we had Dell come out, and they were saying they're building. Elon Musk has what is it called? Grok systems, generative AI type, whatever. Yada yada. Something AI is good from Elon, so he's building that out. And Dell came out saying that they're the ones doing all the work. Elon then kind of tweeted and saying, "Well, it's Dell's doing about half of it. We're also using NVIDIA." So, yeah, good news again for NVIDIA. Elon Musk is going to be spending the money to build it, but obviously, if it works and it's all good, then that should pour some money back into Tesla as long as it's under the same umbrella as Tesla. I'm not sure because he does have multiple companies, so I'm not sure if it's technically Tesla. I believe it is, but good gap up here. You're up 3.5% on this gap. It looks like. No, never mind. Not 3.5. Pretty close to it, but really, really good gap up $4.30 for right now. Again, big retest gap. I don't want to buy it bullish here. Again, I need some kind of a pullback. Pretty good like if I take out the words NVIDIA on this one, I'm looking at this thing going, I'd have to wait for a pullback to go long or look for that retest. So at open, I'd give it a little break on the bullish buying, and if it goes up higher, I would just miss it. I also have that line at 137.42 again. That's probably pre-split. That line is there, so I'm going to take that one with a grain of salt. But yeah, I'd be looking for. It should be a little more retest. There is a lot of people profitable on this gap, and maybe we see some profit taking. But it's Nvidia. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Micro just purchased Bitcoin. MicroStrategies. Or yeah, MicroStrategies. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you're talking about SMCI or MicroStrategies, but yeah, I mean MicroStrategies. They have a lot of Bitcoin. Yeah, but they constantly they're most of their portfolio, a good portion of it is actually Bitcoin. So yeah, you got Michael Saylor buying up all the Bitcoin he could get his hands on. Fairly bullish, but yeah, good gap there too. This could also again this if Bitcoin bounces, obviously MicroStrategy will bounce with it, and Bitcoin's in an interesting spot too. So if you want to play Bitcoin without playing Bitcoin, you're looking for Coinbase, you're looking at Monster, you're looking at Mara, could look at Riot as well, and then again even Hood's probably got a good bounce too. I think that one was up a little bit today too. Mm, yeah, I guess we could look at some of these crypto spaces because they look a little more interesting. Everything else SPY and Qs related looks like a big retest for today. But Hood, we got room to 22.23. I think we hit that pre-market though. Yeah, we got pretty close to that pre-market today as well. But I do think Hood would be a decent one to watch, especially now that we did hit it pre-market. Maybe a little more likely to break through and then have a bigger move. Joe says my broker says there's a Tesla merger announcement today, but I can't find it anywhere. Let's see if we have any news on Tesla about mergers in TradingView. I haven't heard anything with that. Would be interesting. Must just spilled extra details about the XAI supercomputer. These stocks are jumping. I'm not sure who he would be merging with. Let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing on Tesla. Pre-bill activity. If anything, I would say it would be like a buyout than a merger. But yeah, I don't see anything in terms of mergers. So I'm not sure exactly. But if it comes in, okay. And since we're on Tesla, we'll take a look at this one. Uh Take those lines off. The spot we got to get above is we want to get back above at least 184.27 and would be a lot stronger if we could close anywhere above 184.67 today. Otherwise, on a technical basis, and we were taking a look at this one, I think before this green candle opened up, we're like, well, this is a good little pennant pattern. We've been basing a little bit. We have a nice little inverted head and shoulders. We finally break out after lots of consolidation. And then I think I even saw Jeremy was looking for a break of this candle as well, which I fully agree with the analysis on that one. So yeah, This is a nice bullish engulfing candle off of a great retest spot. If and again, it looks like we're just kind of pulling back. We had a little rest day. If we can start to break above Tuesday's high, and maybe not even have to get that far, but if we could even get to like 186.93, anything above that, I think Tesla has a decent amount of room in it. The only thing we have to watch out for, well, there's a few things, but the next spot, the next VPOC is 193.67. And then you got the 200 into like the 197 zone. So there is two spots above us, two initial spots that I would be looking for. And then you have a big resistance somewhere around 203.15. But this is a long consolidation, and that break could go crazy where we could see. I think we have a couple gap fills up here, if I'm not mistaken. It might be going all. They might be, yeah. We still have this gap fill that never got filled at 290. So I'm not saying we get there, or I think probably at some point we do get back up to that 290. We probably will close that gap at some point. It's not going to be quick, but if we can start breaking out of some of these levels and get above that 200 again, that would look good. But otherwise, that is a good bullish engulfing candle. We did rest, and we'll see what today wants to bring on it. It looks like pre-market we are gapping down slightly, but still in yesterday's range. What does worry me today on Tesla is where this open is. So we are slightly, you actually have a little bit better risk reward to the bear side today, I think, on Tesla than to the bull side. Not saying this stock goes one way or the other, just if I had to put some risk on the table on Tesla today, it looks like we have more resistance above us and a lot more room to kind of free fall back down to this 178.39. So your risk reward is on the bear side, but that is a good kind of inside resting candle on Tesla. Palantir jumping again. Yeah, so Palantir still going crazy. They've had a quite the couple weeks here, 4 weeks in a row. Not a lot holding us back. This is the weekly chart I'm on now, so that wouldn't be a retest. This would all just be filled in with green. So somebody will take a crayon later today and color that in. However, today on a daily basis, this is also a retest gap. We are above the first little resistance, which is 26.27. The next stop is 26.91. I want to sell covered calls on Palantir. I just don't know where. And I saw somebody else was in the main chat. They were like, "Hey, maybe we should probably start looking at some covered calls." I agree. I just want my shares for the long term, so I don't really want to get called away. So I might have to go up somewhere relatively high with the strikes. We'll see what happens. See how much premium I can get. But it is 4 bullish weeks in a row. Also at open, this is a little bit of a retest gap. So we do have another. I'd see if we can get a little pullback at open, see how we want to hold to this 26, 28 zone. If we start coming underneath it, then I'm looking for that full retest into 25.87 for today. But it is a retest. Otherwise, really good gap. Did they have news on them? Palantir Technologies to provide data management services for Starlab Space. So they're working with the aliens, which is nice. That's good. Good to see them branch out. What's going on with Palantir today? So just more news about Starlab commercial space station, Airbus SE. As long as they don't make a deal with Boeing, I think they're good to go. So yeah, that would be the poison pill is they come out with a deal with Boeing. But anything else is good. Anything else is good. So we'll see. Let me see. We got Dell, DELL. Santel says, cover calls in Palantir. I am losing money. Don't sell cover calls now. It depends, though. Yes. Most of the time when I sell cover calls, I'm losing on them. Like, especially towards the beginning when something is just bullish running. But if you give it like a month time frame, like the theta will kick in, and then you got 4 weeks in a row. This is usually, unless it's NVDA, there's usually some kind of a pullback spot, something like that. So I'm still waiting a little bit. I'm trying to be greedy on my cover calls just to again pull some money out of the stock while it's doing good. But It looks really good on that chart though for some continuation. So we'll see. We got Dell, looks pretty phenomenal. Again, also retest gaps. So we'll see if could pull back a little bit. I got my first little target somewhere around 157.19. Again, they have that partnership with Tesla too, so they also got some news. If we get a pullback, really the spot I would like is 150.98. Otherwise, yes, we have some hurdles ahead of us. This thing looks like it's definitely picking up some momentum. I could see a future target at this back to this 170.87, kind of come in, close that gap up. But today, see if we get it. Maybe if we want to play that, you're probably trying to get it lower. And then we do have the high of Tuesday. That's going to be 154.14. So that would be my first spot to look. Then again, if we start closing and get some candles immediately above 157.07, I'll change my tune very, very quick. And then we have targets about $6-7 higher from that 163.73. KR looks good too. KR. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I think they had earnings today, didn't they? Kroger. Yep. Kroger beat earnings per share by 7.7 cents, almost 8 cents, 5.66%. And then they did beat on the revenue portion of things by 4.5 million. So fairly good report. This red candle would signify more of a gap and go, but this is also a retest candle as well. So I would have to wait for at least a small pullback. Don't want to see anything too crazy, but 52.88 if I could get it. And then targets, immediate target would be somewhere around the 53.94 zone. Good volume came in here, but again, I think that was more. Was that news? Because earnings came today, I think. Oh yeah, that's still today. So we'll see what happens on this one, but I would like to act as a little bit more of a retest. This would be a good high wave candle one too. Let's get this one on the list. Throw this one higher. KR. If I could get a little bit of a high wave, some kind of initial selling, I could take a break on. I wouldn't mind that one. Tesla starting to push a little bit. Get that one. We got Oxy, OXY. Santilla says NVDA 138 covered calls is smoking because I don't want to sell the shares. Well, what you could do is sell some puts as well. So this way you'll at least make either additional money or maybe could get filled lower and kind of run a little wheel strategy on that one, possibly. But yeah, again, if you give it enough time, eventually there'll be a certain point where it just dies down, trades sideways, pulls back. Someone wants to take profits. You see a 5% pullback on NVIDIA at some point. So I always tend to tell people just don't panic when you're selling calls. As long as you're selling it for higher pricing than you got in, okay, we'll take the gains, and then you're looking to sell some puts and try to get refilled a little bit lower because eventually it will happen. It just the market can stay pretty irrational pretty long time. Oxy, good gap up there. Um, Again, I would like to see a little pullback, but I wouldn't want to see that big of a pullback on this one. So somewhere around 62.01, we'll call it 62 even. That would be the first little pullback spot, just coming into some moving averages. Otherwise, the fact that we got above all of this, broke out of that neckline, broke above that 200, and then we got 62.71 as my next target. I don't know if that's gonna be enough, so I would need that pullback. Bigger target if we want to go to it was 63.15. So again, not great upside unless we do something fantastic, which always could happen. So I would need a pullback, get myself a little bit tighter of a risk reward on this one. I almost want it right into that 200 at this point. We'll see. We'll see. My higher side. First swing trade. Good double bottom, great higher lows, good breakout. I also think for a swing trade, maybe not a horrible location. And then again, you still have the 63.17, and if we could start trending above it, you're probably looking for 67.96, and Buffett's a hero again. We'll see. LEN, Lennar, I believe they had earnings too, didn't they? Yep. This was on Monday though. Good earnings there. Pre-market, pretty flat into from where we closed, so nothing too crazy. It does look like a decent breakdown candle. Also, the spot where we're opening is underneath Tuesday's VPOC. So for now, looks a little bit weaker. You're starting to hit some support zones, but I got 147.21 would be 147.10 would be a big one, and then if that breaks, you're looking probably closer to this 200 EMA on the daily, so 145.78 and then 145.23. After a good double top, and then you are starting to even that close was below some of those wicks. So yeah, I'd probably be a little bit more bearish on Lennar. Not looking to buy the dip just quite yet. Franco, good morning. We got real virtual demand in the house. Good morning to you. Let's see. I think we covered everything. Let's see. Oh, we got MU. I missed that one. I think I missed that one. Yeah. MU looks good. Just still inside day. The very, very high of Tuesday. And we've had quite the journey, even on this last push from 121 to 121.25 to 157.66. There's definitely people profitable in this gap, and some people were looking at this candle on Tuesday going, "Oh, there's that reversal. There's that reversal hammer. I knew I should have sold." So if that's them, and they're in panic mode a little bit of when do I lock gains, this is probably a good spot right at open. That being said, it does still look bullish. That is a bullish gap for sure. And then looking for like a 154.35 as some kind of a pullback spot would make sense. So let's see. Let's see if we get a little chop at the beginning of the day. Otherwise, everything still looks bullish. I think we have to wait for these markets just to cool down just a little bit. For day trade purpose, just give me some rip the band-aid, do it real quick right at the open, and then we can start flipping. Otherwise, we'll see if we can just survive some chop and not get too tempted on some window shopping. We'll see. Otherwise, everybody on YouTube, you guys are incredible. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. We'll do it again for quad witching tomorrow.